Told him I ain't selling it for nothing less than lavish. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Today I need that little extra push. I would say that I feel quite magical. I feel quite powerful, but I also feel like I have a lot that is just needed to be done. It's gonna get done. I don't put too much pressure on myself to make it all happen overnight, but when you realize the substantial amount of reality that you have to live, and you can actually see those aspects, that in itself makes me understand why it is that a lot of people don't need to know how their life unfolds. Like, just fathoming where your life will transition when you know your life will shift in a dramatic way. Imagine if someone knew all of it already. Like, how would life be? I think a part of the element of surprise and unknowing can be so magical, especially when you're in a state, like I mentioned, where I have an idea of all the ways that it can go, and kind of having that hopeful energy, not kind of, but very much so having that hopeful energy, knowing that I have the power to continue to manifest things in my favor and for my family and just for people that I love, and also just to see things that I love. Moreover, I know that it's possible, and I'm excited to be a room of just bringing that in regardless. I feel like well, for one, before I did this, I feel like sometimes when I come up and I pull these cards, I only touch them now when I do readings. And I wanted to just kind of feel them before I turned on the camera. And this was just a card that I picked up for the first time. And pretty much what I gained from it was the fact that it's so calming to have that reassurance and consistency to bring insight. And as I'm looking at this cup looks like something that is offered, but she is just at the sea, still on her throne, but very much like content with just that cup and what she's offering, almost as if she created that cup and she's cherishing it, even if it's just one. I also noticed the fact that the water hitting her. Well, I'm from an area where the beach is prominent, so just to see the water touching her, I'm like, oh, so she's close to the shore. But sometimes that water don't touch you. Every time that water comes up, and just the way that it's hitting her feet, to me, it just seems that even with the emotion, she's in tune. She has become like a representation, embodiment of what the physical sea would be, which to me is emotion. That's what I believe I was sourced from, and that's why they say a lot of, well, it's facts that humans are majority water, but we're still a solid mass. So whatever. As I'm just looking at these cards, there's so many things that I see, and this, I just want to show this one just because it was the bottom of the deck and it's reiterating the cups. I've been pulling a lot of cups, but this one was quite interesting because it has a lot of dynamics in it, a lot of it. And it's like, what does the cups hold? And I love how they acknowledge that, yeah, it could be money and jewels and diamonds, but also turmoil, also a snake, also like love, also romance, also holidays. Like, it's blessings beyond just material. And reiterating back with this, that cup that she's holding, I mentioned that it looks like something that she created. And this was a card that I pulled before I started my reading. I almost wasn't gonna show it, but I want to bring it into the subject matter because shout out to the people that's still watching it. Shout out to the people that didn't get no introduction, but y'all just tagging along, because sometimes I like to just hop right in. Yeah, that's why I have an introduction, so I could just hop right in and it's still casual. But shout out to y'all for watching. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. We going on. Shit, I'm losing track. I just want to make sure that I always keep a video and just have this insight creatively as an expression, and also a record, or something to mark this transformative time for me, because I, like I say, would like to remember how I feel and what I thought in these transitions of me becoming my purest self, and just to be as mature as I am on my path, and just to recognize ways that I've grown just within myself. I can acknowledge just how powerful this cup is, because like I'm looking at this, cups can mean so many things, but to me, what this looks like in my symbolic interpretation is that that's creativity. Even the way that she's holding it, to me, if I were to connect to this card and say that I pulled this card just for me to know, I would just say that my videos, whatever I do, is so sacred. It's something that, even if it's nothing else beyond just what I could obtain in it, it's something that's I would, if I could choose what my creativity symbolizes out of all of this, it would be right here in the center, because it's angelic, but it's also a golden heart, a royal heart, a pure heart that influences me to know that things that I have in my mind, it would be selfish of me to not share, because you never know how it can inspire other people. And if nothing else, this video is for other people that have things that can inspire, even if it's just your mind, even if it's just your experiences and what you've overcome. A lot of people need to know that someone low-key have it worse than them, so they can say, you know what, I could boss up from that. Oftentimes, even now to this day, I watch things, and I don't necessarily like to call myself a low vibrational person, but I tap into that dark energy and just see the darkness of this world, so I could appreciate and recognize just how blessed my life is. Like, I literally feel like I was picked out of like a low vibrational environment, and even when I was in that environment, I wasn't able to see it as such a low vibrational environment, or just how dangerous it was for me to be roaming out there all times of the night with whoever, with whatever. So, not to make it seem like it's dangerous, being from Miami, Florida is honestly something that is like a... Told him I ain't selling it for nothing less than lavish. I recognize that there is a form of like a stronger interpretation that only strong. No, come on, man.
Draco made a hit with this one.
Yeah, and Jazzy had no chill with this, floating. I'm hoping there's no breaks in this run, potent. I'm chosen, this is not a diss song, the token. Don't need a hoe to sing, cause we been on. Don't need to validate, cause we been strong. The gist is the glitz that radiate from the bone. Phone home, let them know my mama only working at a upkeep, her steady home. Many people said I couldn't do what I done on my own. Many thought that I be playing when I be on my phone. Heard them even doing spells to get somebody's gone. But I'm cut from the dust, them other souls will rust. Just surplus with the trust, and now there's lust. As I'm slapping on my boss babe butt. What is what? Cause I been had the guts. Had me tripping, slipping on other suckers, bad luck. Disguised with bliss, wonder for moments to live bossed out like this. Much experience on the journey toward endless bliss. I suspend any logic projecting that I miss. Doing what I want is my only discipline. Hitting gems will help you win. If you fight all within, then you can inspire you to see the power in just your life, however that looks. That's what I'm here for. That's my job, and I want people to know that I can do this every day, because this is naturally something that's sourced and vesseled through God. Every day God come and offer something for you to learn. That's why I reiterate a lot that if you have breath, there's so much for you to grow from. There's nothing that you can't turn around. And some people could look at this video and be like, man, she ain't never had it tough. Okay. I mean, if that's your opinion, that's very valid, because I know that God has blessed me in a way where I saw the darkness, but I was always above the darkness, that I never allowed the darkness to become me. So that's true. As a light being, as an earth angel, I was never succumbed by the darkness, but I was very much basking in a lot of dark vibrational energies. And to be honest, I came out with black melanin for a reason, because my root is sourced from a black I don't want to say abyss, but yeah, I'm from that. And I know that that's why I go back to, even though I have a source of wisdom and insight and growth and progressiveness and purity within my roots and my heart, and what I choose to express out to this world, what I want to influence in this world, is not of like the dark that make you want to do things that you feel like will hurt. That emotion and those energies, that is... Not saying that the devil is not connected to this realm, but that is not something that I'm connected to in my process, and why I chose to come back to this realm. So, yeah, I hate that this realm makes you feel like darkness. And by the way, this is just a little add in, like darkness and just that raw, pure, hurt your feelings a little bit, but tell you that truth that nobody else will tell you. That symbolism of where I'm originated from is not associated with demonic or negative trying to hurt. Is not from a form of trying to hurt. It's actually to heal. That's a healing energy. Anyone that tap into their dark side, tell me you ain't healed from that. And anyway, even if you have to heal from a lesson in a negative way, it's there. It's instilling a form of healing that you can never get from going to church or purity. Church is after. Church is after, you know. And shout out to church, shout out to religious people, whatever you find your structure in. I'm not to tell you what's wrong or right, but I will say that, you know, church is a place you have to choose to go to, but experiences and things that happen to you, sometimes you cannot control that. So I've been through a lot of circumstances that I cannot control, and I came out of it and put it in and put myself in control of how I want my life to progress. And because of that, nobody can tell me shit. I did that when a lot of people didn't even expect me. I didn't even expect for me to be able to turn out in this way, you know, but I believed it and I made it real. So regardless of what you believe in your head, or however your journey is, or how that process is for you, that's a construct in your mind that you've created into your reality, and how you choose to manifest out of that is up to you. If you still have breath, even if you work your whole way trying to get out of or get towards what you desire in your life, and that's your whole life purpose, and you never get to live it, that purpose, if you get in there, is enough. Sometimes it's not even about being able to bask in the blessings. Sometimes it's about you developing and learning towards that, because as a physical entity, it's about experiences. That's what you're gonna take on. You ain't gonna be able to take on all the cars and all the things that you can get from working hard. You're not gonna be able to take that on with you in other realms, or even in your next life. Even if you have the same soul with the same memories, you literally cannot take that. All you can take is what it took for you to get there. That's the energy that you're gonna continue to come with. And that's why even now that I'm so small, and it's been so many lifetimes and so many different expressions of this soul on different realms of reality, I can still say that I have a warrior spirit, because through all of it, I progress and I grow and I learn from, and I become stronger from. And that's what I take, and that's what I cherish the most. And yeah, that was a card that I pulled. So we 11 minutes in, 12 minutes in now, about shit. Listen, y'all, got another card that came out. Got the 7 of Pentacles. So this is like a girl that's not watering her blessings, or not trying to water. Pentacles to me is similar to what I would accumulate as like a cup. Like it's something to obtain, something to gain. And when I look at her face, she looking like, man, she's tired of this shit. So this will be a card I would read into, and then we'll go further. I hope y'all day was going well, man. I hope that if nothing else, what you can gain from this message today is that there's so much power in when you want to create. And I reiterate that, especially now, because if you're watching this video within a 2-week time period, like literally what you speaking is what you're gonna be living. And I definitely feel like it was no better time for me to start instilling the life more over in the ways that I wanted to be. Because not saying that things are going to go exactly as planned, but ain't nothing wrong with telling the universe or telling people that know you exactly what the fuck you be on. If you developed yourself enough to know yourself, that's enough for you to express it to someone else. That's valid enough. You feel me? So got the 7 of Pentacles here. It said, it's time for a much needed break. Step away from whatever project you've been nurturing and take some time to relax. Maybe everything's going perfectly and you can see the rewards on the horizon, or maybe you're stuck and unsure what to do next. Either way, some time away will give you a fresh new perspective when you come back. And this is even so much valid because I did so much today, and even yesterday, like I've been doing so much organizing and seeing all the fruits of my labor, and even just the future, kind of like what I've been talking about. But I do feel like what's more important to me is just how I perceive things. How you, and I speak on this a lot, how you perceive things is the truth. Things can be beautiful, but if you're tired, that is not going to be as present. It's not going to be as something that you can really gain from. It's going to look like something that's getting in the way of. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna get some rest. I feel like God has permitted me rest, because these last two couple weeks, actually, like I've been feeling like it's so much to do. And even like I say, like to be able to appreciate the fruits of your labor is to work and then be able to bask in. So, you know, she's looking like she done with it because of the fact that she working so hard. It takes so much to keep those plants watered and nurtured and things of sort, that you can't even appreciate it for what it is. And let me read this again, because Y'all know I be getting to reading it like it's for me, but it says Seven of Pentacles. It's time for a much needed break. Step away from whatever project you've been nurturing and take some time to relax. Period. Anybody. It's Mercury retrograde. Like, you know, it's a lot of other things in the air, but it's Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Scorpios actually need that. And even if you're not a Scorpio, this energy that popped up, because I had that other card, but this card I pulled for a reason. And I would just say that if you feel like you're not appreciating all that you gain or you will gain because of all the effort that you still have to put in, like, I'm literally right there with you. But what I can say is that this time is not for you to have the answers. If you're feeling unsure, and I think it even said that, what it said? It said maybe you're stuck or unsure what to do next. That is actually the perfect way to feel right now, because you don't, that's not your job. Like I spoke about that before. Let the angels get things cultivated and merge things out and balance things out, so that you can be able to progress in a more smooth energy. I think they said Mercury retrograde is over on June 2nd or something like June 9th or some shit like that. First week of June. So the rewards are definitely on the horizon. It said either way, some time will give you a fresh perspective when you come back. And that's true. I've taken a break from my writing, and today was my first day getting typed up in the novel. I would say it's for the most part finished. I still want to add a little bit more details, but I could have went so hard and just indulged in so many videos, or even with this, I enjoy making videos, but I could have went so hard with just dressing it up and getting it nice. It takes a lot, but if nothing else, I appreciate the way that it unfolds. And yeah, I've been hearing that rest to create, rest to create. I think I pulled that personal card as well. But this is reassurance that things are sometimes is working, and your job is just really for you to heal and be appreciative of what you've done already. And yeah, man, trust the process. Trust that if you're at this video and you're still watching it, good things are definitely coming towards you. We're aligned. Shout out to your reflection. But just make sure that if you really want to appreciate things, that the first thing you appreciate is you. Take a bath. Maybe I need to take that into account. I probably could be able to take a bath, or getting some water. I'm getting some water. I'm seeing things like, you know, just relaxing, laying back and lighting a candle. Shit, whatever you're into, listening to some music, just chilling. There's only so much you can do as a human. But if nothing else, make sure you're living your life for you. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.